Hello Zenith women, and welcome to your favorite Sigma female channel. Some people follow paths, others carve their own. Sigma females are the latter, a breed of women who don't just ignore the rule book, they don't even bother reading it. The world has countless labels and expectations for women, but Sigma females are the ones who've rewritten them all quietly and without fanfare. They're the mysterious, unapologetic women who walk alone, radiating a level of independence that most can only admire from afar. Did you know that studies suggest only a rare few truly thrive in solitude without feeling lonely? Sigma females are those rare few. They walk a path so uniquely their own that it's almost like they're operating with a secret code the rest of us just haven't cracked. But don't mistake their quiet nature for passivity. Beneath that calm surface lies an unyielding strength and a sharp wit that few see coming. Today, we're diving into the untypical things only Sigma females do. Things that keep them outside the mainstream, a little untouchable, and yes, just a tad intimidating. Prepare yourself for an exploration into the mind of the Sigma female, where we'll reveal just how they manage to bend the world to their will, all while sidestepping the spotlight. And hey, if you're wondering why you haven't met many Sigma females, it's probably because they saw you coming first and chose a different route. Number 1. Seeing beyond people's best versions. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to see beyond the surface and straight into the heart of people's true selves. Most people are used to putting on a best version of themselves, polished, charming, saying all the right things to make a good impression. And usually that works. But with a Sigma female, it's like trying to pull off a magic trick on someone who's already seen every illusion in the book. She can sense what others hide beneath their carefully curated images, and she doesn't fall for appearances, no matter how convincing. This isn't about a distrustful nature or cynicism, it's just her natural gift for reading people deeply and instinctively. She notices the small inconsistencies, the subtle hesitations, or the fleeting expressions that slip through the cracks of someone's facade. What most people overlook, she catches immediately, and it gives her a kind of X-ray vision into who someone really is. It's no surprise that many find her a bit unsettling. No one wants to be truly seen without all the usual defenses. A Sigma female doesn't waste time with pretense, and that's what makes her interactions refreshingly, if sometimes brutally, honest. When she looks at someone, she sees both the strengths and the flaws they're hiding, and she respects the real person more than the polished version they try to project. This ability to cut through layers makes her presence both powerful and intimidating. People sense that around her, there's no place for masks. It's not easy to fool someone who's wired to look beyond appearances, and for a Sigma female, this isn't a choice. It's just part of who she is. She's not impressed by performances. She sees the truth, and she values that more than any image someone tries to sell. Number 2. Viewing vulnerability as a personal choice, not an obligation. Sigma females view vulnerability in a way that few others do. It's not a badge of honor to be worn for approval, and it's certainly not a tool for winning sympathy. For a Sigma female, being vulnerable is a choice, and she's highly selective about when and with whom she reveals her softer side. She knows that in a world where people often use personal stories and confessions as currency for connection or validation, true vulnerability loses its meaning if it's just handed out to anyone who asks. She doesn't shy away from her emotions or hide her struggles. She just doesn't feel the need to put them on display for the sake of fitting in. To her, being vulnerable is something deeply personal, not a performance. She doesn't open up simply to appease someone's curiosity or to fit some idea of authenticity. And this quiet confidence, this inner sense of privacy, only adds to her mystique. People might label her as closed off or guarded, but that's only because they don't understand her perspective. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing, it's about trust. If she does choose to let someone in, they should understand the privilege. Her decision to reveal any part of her inner world comes with a lot of thought, and when she shares, she's genuinely sharing. But she knows that trust is rare and precious, so she keeps her cards close to her chest until she finds someone who proves they can respect and honor her truth. This self-protection isn't about fear, it's about discernment. She's someone who knows her worth, and she's not about to let her vulnerability be mishandled or misunderstood. For her, it's not about hiding. It's about knowing that only those who've earned it get to see her true self. Number 3. Declining invitation to belong. Sigma females are regularly offered places in social circles that others would be thrilled to join, but they often turn these down without a second thought. While many people crave belonging and seek validation from being part of an in-group, Sigma females have no interest in superficial connections or status-driven friendships. They know that the price of fitting in is often the loss of authenticity, and that's a trade they're simply unwilling to make. It's not that they don't appreciate companionship or value relationships. They just value themselves and their own path more. They have a strong sense of identity that doesn't depend on group dynamics or social approval, which allows them to walk away from situations that feel artificial or limiting. This independence can be unsettling to others, who may mistake their self-containment for arrogance or aloofness. But for Sigma females, choosing solitude or small, meaningful connections over large, superficial networks is a mark of strength. They would rather have a few genuine relationships than an entire circle built on appearances and status. Sigma females see the unspoken dynamics in these groups, the hidden competition, the need to conform, the subtle power plays. They instinctively recognize when a social offer is just a way to fit them into someone else's mold, and that's a mold they'll never conform to. Instead, they carve out their own space, connecting only with those who appreciate them for who they genuinely are. To them, true belonging is about being fully seen and accepted as oneself, not as part of a predefined role or label. In a world where acceptance often demands compromise, Sigma females choose to belong solely to themselves, and that choice gives them an unshakable sense of freedom and inner peace. Number 4. Outgrowing relationships without drama. Sigma females have a rare gift for outgrowing relationships without leaving a trail of drama behind. When they sense that a connection no longer serves their growth or aligns with their values, they don't cling out of nostalgia, fear, or obligation. Instead, they simply let go with a calm detachment that often leaves others wondering how they managed to move on so seamlessly. To a Sigma female, parting ways with someone doesn't need to be painful or messy. It's just a natural part of life. This ability isn't about being cold or unfeeling. It's rooted in self-awareness. Sigma females understand that as they grow and evolve, not everyone will grow with them, and that's perfectly fine. They don't view it as a failure or a betrayal. Rather, they see it as a reflection of the natural ebb and flow of life. While others might dwell on why things changed or feel the need to make a grand exit, Sigma females prefer to move forward without making a scene. They understand that holding on too tightly can hinder personal progress, so they choose to let go quietly, respecting the time that was shared without letting it define their future. What's unique about Sigma females is their ability to detach without bitterness. They don't harbor resentment or keep emotional baggage from past relationships. If a friendship or romance no longer aligns with who they are, they honor what it was and then close that chapter without regret. This self-contained approach leaves others both intrigued and a little unsettled, as they're used to seeing people struggle to let go. For a Sigma female, however, there's power in moving on gracefully. She's not weighed down by past connections, but enriched by them. And that's what allows her to keep evolving without looking back. Number 5. Relentless self-improvement without apology. Sigma females are unapologetically committed to self-investment, refusing to let guilt or outside expectations deter them from prioritizing their growth. Unlike many people who feel pressured to downplay their ambitions or put others' needs before their own, Sigma females understand that becoming the best version of themselves is not a luxury, but a responsibility. They see self-improvement as a duty to themselves and those around them, recognizing that personal growth strengthens their ability to contribute meaningfully to the world. This relentless pursuit of self-investment often sets them apart. While others might compromise their dreams or personal goals to avoid discomfort or meet social expectations, Sigma females have no such reservations. They've made peace with the fact that not everyone will understand or appreciate their dedication to self-growth, and they're perfectly fine with that. They're willing to make sacrifices, including sometimes distancing themselves from people who discourage their ambitions or don't align with their values. Sigma females pour time, energy, and resources into refining their skills, expanding their knowledge, and fostering resilience. They read, they learn, they push their boundaries, all without seeking approval or permission. To them, this journey is deeply personal, and they won't apologize for choosing it over superficial interactions or unfulfilling obligations. This intense focus on self-investment might intimidate some, as it challenges the traditional expectations placed on women to always be available, accommodating, or selfless. By choosing self-improvement without apology, Sigma females set a powerful example. They prove that investing in oneself isn't selfish. It's necessary for authentic success and fulfillment. This unwavering commitment to their own potential makes them both highly independent and uniquely inspiring, showing others that true growth requires confidence, courage, and sometimes a willingness to stand alone. Number 6. Choosing depth over familiarity. Sigma females have an unshakable desire for depth in every area of life. They're not interested in what's simply familiar or easy. They crave substance, authenticity, and meaning. Whether it's relationships, conversations, or personal pursuits, they need a level of engagement that goes beyond the surface. For them, comfort zones are places to visit, not to live, because real growth and satisfaction come from delving into life's complexities, even when it's uncomfortable. In relationships, they seek genuine connections built on understanding and respect. Small talk and superficial bonds bore them. They want to understand people's true thoughts, aspirations, and fears. This is why a Sigma female often has fewer but more profound relationships. She would rather invest her energy in a few meaningful connections than spread herself thin with people who aren't on the same wavelength. To her, quality always trumps quantity, and if a relationship lacks depth, she won't hesitate to distance herself. This pursuit of depth extends to how she navigates life itself. Sigma females are often drawn to exploring difficult truths and facing challenges head-on. While many might shy away from life's more complex or uncomfortable questions, Sigma females find these inquiries essential. They're not interested in just accepting what's commonly believed or socially convenient. They want to know what's real, even if it disrupts the status quo. This refusal to settle for easy answers gives them an inner richness that few possess. A Sigma female will choose solitude over engaging in shallow dynamics, knowing that her time and energy are too valuable to waste on anything unfulfilling. To her, settling for surface-level interactions feels like denying a part of herself. This commitment to depth may make her harder to understand, but it's also what makes her presence deeply impactful and memorable. She's a reminder that life's true rewards come from exploring what lies beneath the surface. Number 7. Embracing paradoxes in themselves. Sigma females have a unique comfort with their own contradictions, embodying qualities that often seem to oppose each other without ever feeling the need to choose a side. They can be soft yet unbreakably strong, fiercely independent yet deeply caring, reserved yet unafraid to speak up when it matters. This embrace of duality allows them to be fully themselves without the pressure to fit into society's predefined roles. And it's this ease with their complexity that makes them stand out. While most people try to conform to a single version of themselves, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of the need to be understood, Sigma females realize that they're multifaceted and that no single label will ever capture their true essence. They're comfortable being both gentle and assertive, knowing that strength and compassion can coexist. This balance can be unsettling to others, who often prefer people to fit neatly into categories, but Sigma females don't let that stop them. They understand that true authenticity means accepting every part of themselves, even the parts that seem contradictory. This willingness to be a mix of different qualities means they're hard to pin down, and that's precisely why people find them intriguing. They can't be defined by any one trait, and that makes them unpredictable and exciting. Instead of being limited by labels or forced to pick sides, they own all aspects of their nature, blending them as needed. This fluidity gives them the freedom to adapt and respond to life with a kind of flexibility that others find difficult to understand. By embracing their paradoxes, Sigma females create their own sense of self that isn't confined to anyone else's expectations. It's this inner acceptance that makes them both mysterious and powerful, a reminder that we are all allowed to be more than what others think they know about us. Number 8. Transmuting hurt into wisdom. Sigma females have a rare and transformative approach to dealing with pain. When life deals them harsh blows, they don't let those wounds define them or keep them rooted in victimhood. Instead, they have a way of turning pain into wisdom, using each difficult experience as a stepping stone toward growth and strength. To them, pain isn't something to be buried or ignored. It's a teacher with lessons that, once understood, can lead to profound self-empowerment. Rather than dwelling on what's happened or letting their past control their future, Sigma females analyze their experiences with an almost detached clarity. They refuse to let emotions cloud the lessons that each hardship holds. If they've been betrayed, hurt, or disappointed, they process the feelings but don't allow them to linger as bitterness or resentment. Instead, they break down the experience, extract the truths within it, and use that knowledge to become wiser and more resilient. It's this ability to transform hurt into insight that sets them apart. They can take what others might view as a setback and turn it into an advantage. For Sigma females, healing isn't about forgetting the past, but about integrating it in a way that strengthens their character. They know that carrying unprocessed pain can be a weight that holds them back, so they choose to transmute it into something empowering. This process isn't reactive. It's deliberate and grounded in self-respect. Every painful experience becomes a chapter in their internal guidebook, making them increasingly adaptable and self-assured. This alchemy of turning hardship into growth not only fuels their inner strength, but also gives them an aura of wisdom and depth that others are often drawn to. They don't just survive their challenges, they transcend them, emerging with insights that make them not only stronger, but also more compassionate and insightful. It's this approach that allows Sigma females to keep moving forward with resilience, unburdened by their past but enriched by all it has taught them. Number 9. Turning independence into an art form. For Sigma females, independence is far more than just a personality trait. It's something they've honed into an art form. It's woven into the fabric of their being, a skill they've mastered over time. Where others might lean on relationships, external validation, or societal expectations to find their place, Sigma females find power in standing entirely on their own. They have redefined what it means to be self-sufficient, not just as a necessity, but as a source of strength. It's not that Sigma females don't value people or relationships. They do, but they don't rely on anyone to validate their worth. And that's what makes their independence so unique. They don't seek approval or affirmation from others because they've already cultivated a deep sense of self that is untouchable by external opinions. They've learned how to meet their own needs emotionally and physically without looking to anyone else to fill the gaps. This makes them impervious to manipulation or the kind of emotional dependency that can tie others down. This level of self-sufficiency is empowering because it frees them from the typical constraints people face when they depend on others for their sense of identity or purpose. Sigma females have no need to conform to societal pressures, nor do they feel obligated to follow traditional paths. They create their own roads and do so with confidence, knowing they are fully capable of walking them alone. Their independence gives them a quiet but unshakable strength. It's not about being alone. It's about choosing to be self-reliant in a world that often values conformity over authenticity. In a world that frequently encourages dependency, Sigma females redefine it. They turn independence into an art form that not only sets them apart, but serves as a constant reminder that they are their own source of power and meaning. Number 10. Turning silence into power. Sigma females understand that silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a powerful tool that, when used strategically, can shift dynamics and assert authority without a single word. Unlike many who feel compelled to dominate a conversation or situation with words, Sigma females recognize that silence carries weight. It isn't passive or avoidant, it's deliberate. When they choose to remain quiet, they're often making a calculated decision to maintain control, send a message, or simply observe the situation from a place of power. This ability to turn silence into a power move is rooted in confidence. Sigma females don't feel the need to fill every space with chatter to prove their worth or position. Their quiet presence alone can be enough to command attention. In fact, their silence often has more of an impact than anything they could say. It creates a sense of anticipation, causing others to pause and consider what's going on beneath the surface. People around them may feel an unspoken tension, unsure whether they're being judged or if the silence holds a deeper meaning. That uncertainty gives the Sigma female an edge, as she remains an enigma who is difficult to read and therefore difficult to influence. Rather than using words to dominate, Sigma females let their silence do the talking. They know that sometimes saying nothing is far more powerful than anything they could articulate. This quiet confidence leaves others intrigued and unsettled, unsure of how to approach someone who has mastered the art of commanding a room without speaking. It's not about intimidation, but rather about demonstrating that they don't need to prove themselves through noise. They are already secure in who they are, and their silence speaks volumes. Sigma females are far from ordinary. They embody a rare blend of strength, self-awareness, and quiet rebellion that defies societal expectations. Each of the untypical traits they possess is a reflection of their deep commitment to personal growth and authenticity. From turning silence into power to embracing their contradictions with grace, they carve out lives on their own terms, refusing to be defined by anyone else's standards. What sets them apart isn't just their independence or their ability to outgrow relationships without drama, but their understanding that real power lies in mastering the self. Sigma females don't follow the crowd, and they certainly don't bend to social pressures. They walk their own path with conviction, knowing that the most extraordinary thing they can do is remain true to who they are, no matter what. They don't need the approval of others because their worth is self-defined. They don't engage in meaningless chatter because their actions speak louder than words ever could. They move through life not seeking validation, but instead creating their own sense of value, strength, and wisdom with every step. And that is exactly what makes them so intriguing, so magnetic, and so untouchable. In a world that often demands conformity and submission to external norms, Sigma females represent a fierce reminder that true power comes from within, and that sometimes the most extraordinary thing you can do is simply be yourself. If you've resonated with what we've discussed today, you're clearly tuned into a frequency that not everyone gets to experience. So why not take the next step in embracing your uniqueness? Hit that subscribe button and join a community of like-minded individuals who value depth, authenticity, and true strength. You don't want to miss out on more thought-provoking content that will help you stay ahead of the curve. Trust me, you'll want to be here for what's coming next. Go ahead, subscribe, and let's keep this powerful conversation going. Thanks for watching, and bye.